Hey students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Maths Revision Classes by Karthik sir. Let's begin with the next chapter, and the next chapter is arithmetic progressions. Now, as we always discuss the application of a particular topic in the previous chapters, also we have discussed the same. In this chapter also we will discuss the application or where the arithmetic progressions is used. So let me take up some situations. Situation 1 is that a person is getting a particular amount of salary and is getting an increment per year. Let's take an example. Suppose the salary of a person is 10,000 per month and he is getting a fixed increment of 5,000 per year. And we need to determine the salary after 5 years. Now, such type of problem can be easily solved using an arithmetic progression. Now we will see, as we will do some problems, we will see how we can determine or calculate the salary after 5 years. Okay, now this particular thing is a ladder. Let's take up another situation. This particular thing is a ladder, and the rungs of a ladder, as you see, are getting reduced. The length of the rungs of the ladder are getting reduced, and they are getting reduced uniformly. So if I know the length of the lowermost rung, and I know by how much centimeters or meters the length of the rung is getting reduced, then we can easily determine the length of the topmost rung or any other rung. Now such type of problem can also be solved using arithmetic progressions. We will see in future, as we will do some problems, we will see how we can solve it. Okay students, let's discuss arithmetic progression. Before I take arithmetic progressions, let me take some list of numbers. Now the first list of numbers is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now we can see here, now each number is known as a term. So the first term is 2 and the consecutive term is obtained by adding 2 to the previous term. For example, to get 4 I have added 2 to 2. To get 6 I have added 2 to 4. To get 8 I have added 2 to 6. So each term we are getting by adding 2 to the previous term. Now similarly in the next one also, the difference between any two consecutive terms is constant. See, 55 minus 50 is 5. 60 minus 55 is again 5. 65 minus 60 is again 5. And similarly in the third list also, the difference between any two numbers is 4. So that's a constant difference between any two consecutive terms. Now in all these lists, we have a common thing, that the difference between any two consecutive terms is always constant. So that's how we will define the arithmetic progression. It's a list of numbers in which the difference between any two consecutive terms is always constant. So any list of numbers or expressions in which the difference between any two consecutive terms is always constant is known as an arithmetic progression. You may note down the definition. Now let's see some more examples of an arithmetic progression. Alright students, let's take up this sequence of numbers. The numbers are root 2, root 8, root 18, root 32 and so on. Now let us simplify these surds first. So I can write, this will be root 2 itself. Now root 8 can be written as 2 root 2. Root 18 can be written as 3 root 2. And root 32 can be written as 4 root 2. Now it is very easy to determine whether this particular sequence is an AP or not, or the list of numbers is an AP or not. Now 2 root 2 minus root 2 is root 2, 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2 is root 2, and 4 root 2 minus 3 root 2 is again root 2. So here in this list of numbers, the difference between any two consecutive terms is always root 2, which is always constant. Hence this is also an arithmetic progression. Now an important thing, the constant fixed difference is called common difference. So this constant difference is known as the common difference of the AP. So here it is denoted by D. So here D is equals to square root of 2. Now let me consider another list of numbers. Let's say 5, 15, 25, 35, 45 and so on. So clearly here the common difference is 10. 15 minus 5 is 10, 25 minus 15 is 10, 35 minus 25 is 10, 45 minus 35 is also 10. Alright, now let's talk about some more expressions and terms of an AP. Alright students, now let's discuss the general term of an AP. Let me assume that the first term of an AP is A and the common difference is denoted by D. Then the AP will be A plus D. The second term can be found by adding the common difference to the first term. Now the third term can be found by adding the common difference to the second term. So A plus D, that is A plus 2D. Now A plus 2D plus D is A plus 3D, and A plus 3D plus D is A plus 4D, and so on. Now there is a definite pattern in this type of expression. Now A is simply A. I can write A plus D as A plus 2 minus 1 into D. Similarly, I can write A plus 2D as A plus 3 minus 1 into D. And I can write A plus 3D as A plus 4 minus 1 into D. And I can write A plus 4D as A plus 5 minus 1 into D. And A is A itself. Now, I can also write here A plus 1 minus 1 into D. Let me do that also. Now, see students, this is our first term. This is our second term, this is our third term, this is the fourth, and this is the fifth term. And so on, we will have some more terms. Now the first term we are writing as A plus 1 minus 1 into D. So I have used 1 when it is first term. Now the second term it is A plus 2 minus 1 into D. Now everything is same as in the first expression except this number. So this number changes to 2, 1 to 2. In the second term, we have used 2. Now to determine the third term, we have used the same expression, 2 changes to 3. So in the third term, I have used 3 and we got A plus 2D. Similarly, in the fourth and the fifth term, we have used 4 and 5 to determine the terms. Now obviously, what will be the nth term? So it is denoted by an. If I need to find the nth term of this AP, then this nth term can be easily written as A plus n minus 1 into D. So by this observation, I can simply say that the general term of an expression an of general term of the AP denoted by an is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. So n can be any number, any positive integer. So if we need to determine, let's say, the 67th term, so I'll just put the value of n as 67. So A67 will be equals to A plus 67 minus 1 into D. So this will turn out to be A plus 6060. So we can simply say that the 67th term of this AP is A plus 6060. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's see some problems based on this particular expression. Alright students, let's take up this question. Question says find the 11th term of the AP minus 3 minus 1 by 2, 2. Now first and foremost we need to write down the values of A and D. A is our first term and D is our common difference. So A here is minus 3 and D is minus 1 by 2 minus 3. Difference between any two consecutive terms. So this is minus 1 by 2 plus 3. This turns out to be minus 1 plus 6 by 2, which is equals to 5 by 2. So the common difference comes out to be 5 by 2 and our first term is minus 3. Now we need to find the 11th term. So A, it will be denoted by A11 equals to A plus 11 minus 1 into D. We have used AN equals to A plus N minus 1 into D. Here I have put the value of N as 11. So I got A11 equal to A plus 11 minus 1 into D. Now we'll just put the values of A and D in order to find this value. So this turns out to be A is minus 3 plus 10 times of D. D is 5 by 2. 2 ones are 2 5s are. So this turns out to be minus 3 plus 25, which is equals to 22. So the answer to this question is 22. So the 11th term of the AP is 22. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now let us see what types of AP. How many types of AP we can have. Alright students, so let's discuss the types of AP. There are two types of arithmetic progressions. One is the finite arithmetic progression. In this, the number of terms are countable. Means it has limited number of terms. The number of terms can be easily counted. Not easily counted, but it can be counted. So in other words, it has finite number of terms. For example, minus 2, 0, 2, 4, 6. Now this particular AP has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. And this particular AP again has 4 terms, 5, 10, 15, 25. Now we can have any number of terms. The number of terms can be any big number or small number. It depends on the AP. But if the number is finite, then definitely the AP is known as a finite AP. Now the second type is infinite AP, in which the number of terms are uncountable. Means there is no end to this AP. So if there is no end to an AP, then it is known as an infinite AP. So 70, 71, 72, this is an infinite AP. And minus 50, minus 45, minus 40, minus 35 going on. Again, it's an infinite AP. Now, let's take up the question on the number of the term. Question says, which term of the AP 3, 8, 13, 18 is 78? So again we will use AN equals to A plus N minus 1 into D, the general term of the expression, the general term of an AP. Now here our AN is given to be 78. The nth term is already given. Our A is the first term, that is 3, and the common difference can be found easily. 8 minus 3, that is 5. Now we will just put it in this expression, all the values, and find the value of N. And N will give me the which term of the AP is 78. So we get 78 equals to 3 plus N minus 1 into 5. So this becomes 75 equals to N minus 1 into 5. Now we can easily cancel out with 15. So N minus 1 equal to 15. N is equals to 16. So the 16th term is 78. So we found out that the 16th term of this AP is 78. I hope this is clear to everyone. It is a very simple problem. We can have any number of questions on this type, and we have to use this expression an is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Alright, now let's take up a word problem on this, and I have taken this question from first exercise of this chapter of NCERT. The question says the taxi fare after each kilometer when the fare is rupees 15 for the first kilometer and rupees 8 for each additional kilometer. Is the above situation an example of AP? Now let's find out whether it is an AP or not. Now for the first kilometer my fare will be 15 rupees. For the next kilometer it will be 15 plus 8, that will turn out to be 23 rupees. And for the next kilometer, if I travel for 3 kilometers, my fare would be 23 plus 8, that is 31. So there is a plus 8 here, plus 8 here, and so on. It goes on with a plus 8. Next term will be 39. Now definitely it forms an AP. Because each next term can be determined by adding 8 to the previous term. So this particular situation does form an AP. So yes, it forms an AP. I hope this is clear to everyone. Let's take up some more questions from the first exercise as well. Alright students, let's take up two very simple questions from the first exercise. Question 1 says, write the first term and the common difference of the AP 0.6, 1.7, 2.8, 3.9. It's very simple to write. Our first term A is 0.6 and our common difference, you can choose any two consecutive terms and find the difference. 1.7 minus 0.6. So this will turn out to be 1.1. So the common difference is 1.1 and the first term is 0.6. Now the second question says, is root 3, root 6, root 9, root 12 an AP? Now we just need to find the difference between the any two consecutive terms, and if this difference comes out to be constant, then definitely this is an AP, otherwise no. Now these are surds. Now let's simplify those surds which can be simplified. So I can write this list of numbers. Root 3, root 6 cannot be simplified. Root 9 is 3 itself, and root 12 can be written as 2 root 3. Now it is clear from this that this particular sequence or the list of numbers is not an AP, because root 6 minus root 3 is an irrational number, or we cannot simplify it further. 3 minus root 6 is again irrational, we cannot simplify it. 2 root 3 minus 3 is again irrational, and all these irrational numbers are unequal numbers, as we can see from observation. So therefore this particular, no, it's not an AP. This particular list of number, it's not an AP. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's take up some more questions on the general term of the arithmetic progression. Alright students, let's take up this question. This question says, find the 31st term of the AP whose 11th term is 38 and 16th term is 73. Now clearly we have information about two terms. One is the 11th term, that is A11 equal to 38, and we have A16 equals to 73. Now using this expression or the formula an equals to a plus n minus 1 into d, we can easily determine two equations in two variables, that is a and d. Let's do that. We have A11, that is 38, equals to A plus 11 minus 1, that is 10D. So equation number 1 is this. And our second equation is 73, that is A16 equals to A plus 16 minus 1, that is 15 times of D. This is our equation number 2. So we have just put n equal to 11 in this equation and n equal to 16 in this equation to get equation number 2. Now we will simply subtract these two equations in order to eliminate A and find the value of D. So let's subtract 1 and 2. Now the equations are A plus 10D equals to 38 and A plus 15D equals to 73. When we subtract, the signs will change. Plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus. A and A gets cancelled out. We are left with 10 minus 15, it is minus 5D equal to 38 minus 73. 13 minus 8 is 5 and 6 minus 3 is 3, minus 35. So D becomes equals to 7. Now D came out to be 7, so we can simply put in any one of the equations in order to get the value of A. So I'll put it in the first equation. 38 equals to A plus 10 into 7. 10 into 7. So our A will be 38 minus 70. This comes out to be minus 32. So our A comes out to be minus 32 and our D is equal to 7. So we can easily find the 31st term. The 31st term is A31 equals to A plus 31 minus 1D, that is 30D. So this will turn out to be A is minus 32 plus 30 times of 7. This will be minus 32 plus 210. And this will turn out to be 10 minus 2 is 8, again 10 minus 3 is 7, 178. So 178 is the 31st term of this given AP. I hope this is clear to everyone. Let's take up some more questions in order to have a deep understanding of this topic. Alright students, let's take up another question. The question says, check whether minus 150 is a term of the AP 11852 and so on. So again we will use the same formula, that is AN is equals to A plus N minus 1 into D. We have the first term of the AP is 11 and the common difference can be easily found by subtracting any two consecutive terms. So 8 minus 11, that is minus 3. So the common difference is minus 3 and the first term is 11. So our AN here is, we will take it or assume it to be minus 150. So here I am assuming that this particular term is a term, this particular number is a term of this AP. If my n's value doesn't turn out to be a positive integer, then definitely this minus 150 is not a term of the AP. If it happens to be a positive integer, then definitely it is a term of the AP. So we will just solve this equation for n by putting an equal to minus 150. So let's put minus 150 equals to A is 11 plus n minus 1 into minus 3. So this becomes minus 161 equals to n minus 1 into minus 3. Minus and minus can be easily cancelled. We get n minus 1 equals to 161 divided by 3. So n will turn out to be 161 divided by 3 plus 1. Now this particular expression can be written as 161 plus 3 by 3, which turns out to be 164 by 3. Now this 164 by 3 is not an integer. So since this is not an integer, minus 150 is not a term of the AP. So this is not possible. N is not an integer. Minus 150 is not a term of the. So here we got the value of n as 164 by 3, which is not an whole number. So simply not an positive integer. So simply we can say that minus 150 is not a term of the AP. I hope this is clear to everyone. Alright students, let's take up another question. Now the question says find the 20th term from the last of the AP 3, 8, 13, 253. Now the AP starts from 3 and ends at 253. Now whenever you get a question from whenever you get this type of question, that is 20th term from the last, you just need to reverse the AP. So let me just reverse the AP. So my reverse AP will be 253 and it will end at 3. It will start with 253 and it will end at 3. Now the 20th term of this AP will be the 20th term from the last of the given AP. So let me write down the A and D based on this AP. So our first term is 253 and our common difference is, you can take any two terms and find out the difference. 3 minus 8, that is equals to minus 5. So the common difference is minus 5 and our first term is 253. We need to find A20, that is the 20th term of this particular reverse AP. So A20 will be given by A plus 20 minus 1 into D. We have used An is equals to A plus n minus 1 D. We have used this expression or this formula. Now let's put the values. A20 will be equals to A is 253 plus 19 times of minus 5. So this turns out to be 253 minus 95 and this will turn out to be 13 minus 5 is 8, 14 minus 9 is 5 and a 1. So this turns out to be 158. 158 is our 20th term from the last of this particular AP. So we can say that 20th term from the last of given AP is 158. Alright students, let's take up another important question. Questions of these types are very important and are asked in CBSE exams many a times. The question says how many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7. Now firstly we need to know that the series of 3-digit numbers or the sequence of 3-digit numbers that are divisible by 7 will definitely form an AP with a common difference of 7. So let me just determine the first 3-digit number divisible by 7. First 3-digit number divisible by 7 equals to. Now how we will calculate this? Let's see. We will take the smallest 3-digit number, and the smallest 3-digit number is 100, and we will simply divide it by 7. So we will take the smallest 3-digit number and we will divide it by 7. So let's divide it. 7 1 is 7, 3 carry over, 7 4 is 28. We are left with the remainder 2. Now whatever remainder we will get, we will take the difference of the divisor from the divisor. So 7 minus 2 is 5 and add it to the number. So I repeat, firstly we will divide the smallest 3-digit number with 7 by 7. We will get a remainder. If the remainder is 0, then that is the number. If we get a remainder, then we will take the difference of this remainder from the divisor. So 7 minus 2 is 5 and we will add this 5 to this particular number. So our first 3-digit number divisible by 7 is 105. Or the smallest 3-digit number divisible by 7 is 105. Alright, now let's find out the largest 3-digit number or the last 3-digit number divisible by 7. Now for that we will take up again the largest 3-digit number, that is 999, and divide it by 7. So let's divide it. 7 1 is 7, 2 carry down 9, 7 4 is 28, 1 is left, 19, 7 2 is 14, and we are left with 5. So we will simply subtract this remainder from the given number, that is 999 minus 5 will give me this number. Let me just write it properly. Divisible by 7 equal to, it will be 999 minus 5, so this will be 994. So our first 3-digit number divisible by 7 is 105 and our last 3-digit number divisible by 7 is 994. Now once we find these two values, it is very simple to find how many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7. So the numbers divisible by 7 will form an AP. And this AP will be 105 plus 7, that is 112, and so on up till 994. I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now, here the first term is 105, our n is 994, and our common difference obviously is 7. So we need to find the value of n. How many 3-digit numbers? We need to find n. So we will use this formula, an is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Let's put the values. An is 994 equals to a is 105 plus n minus 1 into d. D is 7. Let's solve it further. So on solving, I'll get 994 minus 105 equals to 7n minus 7. So this will turn out to be 14 minus 5 is 9, 8 minus 0 is 8, and 9 minus 1 is 8. 889 equals to 7n minus 7. 7n will turn out to be 889 plus 7, that is 898. So n will be 898 divided by 7, and this is equals to 7 1s are 7, 7 2s are 14. Oh, sorry, I have taken this wrongly. 889 plus 7 is 896. 889 plus 7 is 896. So 7n is equals to 896. N is equals to 896 divided by 7. N becomes equals to 7 1 7 1 9, 7 2 14, 56, 7 8 are 56. So n is equals to 128. On simplification we get n equal to 128. So there are 128 3-digit numbers divisible by 7. I hope this is clear to everyone. That's it from my side in this video. We will take up the sum of the n terms of an AP and how to take a different terms of an AP when certain conditions are given in the next or the upcoming videos. Now again, I request everyone to subscribe the channel, to like my video, and if you have any doubts, any suggestions, you can comment it in the comment box. All right, thank you everyone, have a great day.